Hey guys, I just want to break down one of the calls that we put out the Sunday just gone by, and I want to break down the weekly 1 hour long position for Bitcoin that we called out to show you how we're looking at the charts for those bigger moves. So if the daily wave is still anchored, so if the daily wave is still heavily overbought above the plus 60 line, we basically want to look for a weekly 1 hour long continuation. So I'm just going to go over to the charts now and explain to you what I mean by that. This is the start of the week in question. It's the current week that we're in now. And the weekly 1 hour happened right at the start of the week. And the reason why I was playing the weekly 1 hour continuation is because you can see here, we are above the plus 60 on the daily. So we're riding this anchor. And like I say, anchor is unmovable. Don't go against that until it breaks down. Okay. So weekly 1 hour long happened right at the start of the week. So you can see here, price was below the weekly open. The wave hit the oversold level on the 1 hour time frame. And then we had the candle body closing above the 8 EMA. It would have been this one. And however generous or not you were with your stop, perhaps a cheeky 2 off the wick to the right. But for a weekly 1 hour long continuation, you would be targeting the daily anchor as you take profit, but it's already anchored and we're just assuming that we're going to be riding that anchor. Okay. I want to show you another example of this, perhaps looking at the previous bull run, just so that you can understand how when any time frame is deeply anchored, you can keep riding the momentum in that direction of anchoring. So for this example that we just gone through, the deep daily anchor was telling you that the weekly 1 hour would have a long continuation. So you're always going to one higher time frame, right? Let's look at the previous bull cycle. A deep weekly anchor is telling you that you're going to get monthly 4 hour long continuations. So I'm just going to quickly hover past this. So you can see we started anchoring in November of 2020. It went into December, January, February, March. And then I think after March, we're breaking down. So let's not do November because that's obvious you're coming into the anchor. I'm going to look from December, Jan, and Feb inside of here to see if the monthly 4 hour had continuations whilst the weekly had a heavy bullish anchor. Okay, so I've marked up December, January, and February in question. Let's just go back and look at that on that weekly anchor. Yep, perfect. So let's go now and see if we had the 4 hour oversold hitting negative 60 entry. Okay, so we'll start with December. I'm sure you can already see it. It looks good, right? 4 hour, maybe making a mild divergence. It was under the monthly open. It hit negative 60, the oversold level. And then we had bullish candle closing above the AEMA off the divergence. So I'll just be pretty loose with the stop. We'll just leave it like that, whatever the case is, right? Let's go to January then. And that's unfortunate. We just missed it. So price didn't really ever go below the monthly open except for that wick. The only time that we were at the open and the wave was hitting oversold was this situation over here. Is the closest you would have come to meeting those conditions. Doesn't obviously meet the conditions perfectly, so we probably wouldn't regard it. Depends on how strict you are, or if you want to be cheeky and just say to yourself, well, maybe it's lower probability, but we are in a bull run at that time, maybe it's worth the entry swinging the low, right? So that's the closest you would have been. And then for February, it was just had run away from us. It didn't even come back to knock on the open. By that stage, it's just absolutely gone, right? So it's just to show you that when you're having a heavy wave anchoring on any time frame, if you go to the higher time frame, like one above that in the fractal, the sequencing that we have for the TPM and strategies, you can, with a high degree of probability, say to yourself that there's going to be a continuation entry for that higher pairing, right? So I'll just reiterate that. I don't think I've worded that very well. Heavy bullish anchor on the weekly, you can look for a monthly 4 hour continuation long entry, and you can see that for 2 of the 3 months it would have hit those conditions and you would have had the monthly 4-hour long continuation entry. And the example we gave at the start of this video was daily, heavily anchored. You can look for a weekly 1-hour long continuation entry. And we got that entry at the start of this week. There it was. So that's just another aspect of the strategy if we want to go deeper into it for, if you want to be more advanced on mapping the fractal, whatever you want to call it. I hope that just gives you guys another layer, another extra little bit of something to think about. Hopefully not confusing anybody, because I don't want to do that. It can be bamboozling. But if you guys do have any questions, please just let me know in the comment section.